Okay, should we do a quick roll call and see who's here, or
Yes,
you want to?
please.
Okay, so quick roll call. Dolores Trujillo present. Ken?
Present.
Susan? Susan? Okay, Jovita?
Jovita's here.
Mary? Betty? Roll call, Betty.
Woods here.
Imelda?
Imelda here.
So we still have a quorum, correct?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
so why don't we go ahead and get started with the next agenda item?
Okay, thank you very much. This is Mary Ann McCarthy, Nursing Education Consultant, Liaison to the Education and Licensing Committee. We are to agenda item 8.7. This is discussion and possible action regarding recommendation to accept changes to an approved program. And there's separate ones here. I'm going to start with 8.7.1. This is Stanbridge University Baccalaureate Degree Nursing Program, and they're asking for an addition of a new campus or location. And Stanbridge was also with Miss Badri Caraway, so I will be presenting for them. And joining me on the line is Miss Minerva Valdenor, the program director. I'm sorry, Minerva, if I said that incorrectly. Stanbridge University has requested a third campus in Riverside, California. They currently have campuses in Los Angeles and in Orange County. The requested enrollment of the new campus is 40 students 4 times a year for an annual Riverside campus enrollment of 160 students. The original campus in Irvine was an ADN program approved in 2014, and it was changed to a BSN program with approval in 2020. This campus in Los Angeles, in Irvine, the original Irvine campus, enrolls 30 students 3 times a year for a total enrollment of 90 students. The secondary campus in Los Angeles, so again, to clarify, the first one in Irvine is in Orange County, and this one's in Los Angeles. The BSN program was approved in 2019, and it enrolls 30 students 3 times a year for a total enrollment of 90 students per year. There are at the current time no BSN NCLEX pass rates available at either site until after the first graduation of cohorts, which is scheduled for March of 24. That'll be March of 24 would be their first BSN graduates. The program cost is $129,930, which includes tuition and supplies. A site visit was made in February of 2021 to ensure adequate space and resources are available. The submitted major curriculum revision meets all board rules and regulations. And I again would like to direct you to the top of page 220 in your materials packet, where Ms. Caraway has addressed workforce data. Ms. Valdenor is available for your questions, and this concludes my report.
Good afternoon. My name is Minerva Valdenor. I am, as mentioned, the program director for Stanbridge. With me here this afternoon are Assistant Directors Dr. Jenny Joy, Ms. Kathy Bisquette. Also with me is the President of the University, Mr. Yasif Rasuria, and the Vice President of the University, Dr. Kelly Hamilton. We are pleased to be here and appreciate your time, and we are here to answer your questions.
Does the board have any questions or discussions?
This is Imelda. For clarification, we're talking about 3 different campuses?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, they have 2 sites, one in Los Angeles already, one in Orange County, and now they want to have one in Riverside.
So is it normal or typical that we Do 3 at a time and not just one?
No, they have an original campus that was the Irvine campus in Orange. And then they were approved. Sorry, I put my paper. The secondary campus was approved in 2019 by the board. And now this is 2021, a request for the third campus in Riverside.
This is only for the third campus in Riverside. Okay, thank you for the clarification. I would make a motion to accept the recommendation change to an approved program. Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Yes. And I
Okay.
second, Jovita seconds. So we'll open it up for board discussion if there's any. So then if there's none, then we'll go to public comment, please.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I will pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please. Thank you. We can then now take a vote. I, Jovita Dominguez, vote yes. Dolores Trujillo,
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Ken Marlborough,
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Susan Aranco, is she on the line? And Mary is still out. Betty Woods,
Woods, yes.
Imelda Ceja.
Melda, yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda.
Thank you very much. 8.7.2, this is Glendale Career College Associate Degree Nursing Program. They also are discussion and possible action regarding recommendation to accept changes to an approved program. This is also an addition of a new campus or a location. I'm going to present Glendale Career College for recently retired NEC Wayne Boyer. And joining me on the line is Dr. Gloria Blotti, who is the Dean and Program Director at GCC. GCC has requested a third campus in Bakersfield, California. They currently have campuses in Los Angeles and in San Diego. This request is prompted by Bakersfield Adventist Hospital and where the clinical experiences will be. The Bakersfield campus will be located on a prior DeVry University location, and GCC has demonstrated adequate current and planned resources for this site. Intended enrollment for the first cohort of 45 students in the fall of 2021, followed with an enrollment of 3 cohorts of 45 students per year starting in 2022 for the total program enrollment of 135 students per year. The curriculum at the third campus will be identical as the 2 other campuses. The total estimated cost for the program is $75,000. And I would like to direct you to the bottom of page 224 and the top of page 225 of your materials packet where Dr. Boyer addressed regional workforce data. Dr. Blotti is available for questions, and this concludes my report.
This is Imelda Ceja. I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommendation for changes. Of course, I'm a big advocate for the Central Valley and Baker, so that's my hometown. We're in desperate need, so I would like to make that motion.
And I second it. Jovita Dominguez second. We can open it up for board discussion. Then we can go to public comment if no one from the board.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please. And we can take it to a vote. I, Jovita Dominguez, vote yes. Dolores Trujillo,
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Ken Marlborough,
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Betty Woods,
Woods, yes.
Imelda Ceja.
Imelda, yes.
Thank you. On the agenda,
Thank you.
Susan's here as well.
and I did not know. Did you want to vote, please, Susan Naranjo?
Susan Naranjo votes yes.
Thank you, Susan. Welcome back.
Agenda item 8.7.3. This is also Glendale Career College Associate Degree Nursing Program. It is a discussion and possible action regarding a recommendation to accept changes to an approved program. This time it is a major curriculum revision with an enrollment increase. It is separate from the secondary or the third campus that we just spoke about. I'm going to be presenting Glendale Career, and joining me on the line is still Dr. Gloria Blotti, the Dean and Program Director. GCC is also requesting an enrollment increase at their campuses, their current campuses of Los Angeles and San Diego. The request is to increase the annual enrollment from 30 students 3 times a year to 45 students 3 times a year at each of the campuses for a total of 135 students per campus per year. The request is prompted by Glendale Advantis and Sharp Grossmont in San Diego, which are seeking partnership to help their employees become RNs. Didactic instruction will be provided on each campus and clinical at each facility utilizing clinical coaches. And the estimate cost of these programs are also $75,000. I would like to direct you to the bottom of page 232 and the top of page 233 of your materials packet, where Dr. Boyer has addressed the regional workforce data. Dr. Blotti is available for questions, and this concludes my report.
I'd like to thank Dr. McCarthy and the board for considering this. And
Dr. Blotti.
Hi, yes.
Hi, this is Dolores.
Hi, Dolores. How are you?
Good. So I just have a couple of questions. This is for the San Diego campus.
Yeah, it's for both campuses, yes, for San Diego and for Glendale. For San Diego, it's with Sharp, and with up here, we're doing it with the dentist.
Okay,
So it's an additional 15 per semester. That's really all it is, we now are approved for 30 3 times a year. It's now going to be an additional 15 to accommodate those two requests. So it's 45 with extra.
yeah, I'm concerned about the Sacramento area. I'm not Sacramento, I'm sorry, I live in the Sacramento area. I'm concerned about the San Diego area
Mhm.
and the impact on clinical space that is happening down there. Clinical space is at a premium right now. And I believe there are a lot of nurses in the San Diego area, some of which may have gotten laid off in the last year.
Mm. Yeah, I think we are aware of that, some of the issues with that. It's one of the things that we're trying to accomplish with this is that, number one, we meet the needs of the hospital in regards to furthering the education of their employees. That was one. The second was to help them also get their RN to BSN quicker, because they want to well, whoever we were with, which was Sharp, they have magnet, but Aventis does not. So we were trying to help them get their magnet status with this. We're trying to develop more clinical coaches in the future, so that, as we know, I think it's been mentioned, I've been on here all day with you guys, but it's been mentioned many times about the shortage of nursing faculty. We feel like we're really doing a pretty good job with this right now, because we're trying to grow our young and get them ready for when we retire. So it's really been an interesting kind of partnership with these two hospitals, trying to get ready for the future, really, more than anything else. And that's why we went with these two facilities, so that we wouldn't, go into any of the other kind of places. And I know that
Sure.
this is premium.
So the RN to BSN is really
Yes.
not under our jurisdiction.
Right.
The BRN, it's just pre-licensure.
Right.
So that's quite an increase for an area that is experiencing clinical space at a premium, and also jobs for RNs.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah. I know that clinical spots are not really the issue for us at the moment. And we're going to really focus on one place, not all of them. And to really have this partnership so that we could develop their employees. I think that's really what we were looking at. This was a very specific kind of program.
Okay. And you're working with the consortium at all down there?
In both places, yes, we do. In the LA City area and also down in San Diego, absolutely.
Okay. That's good enough.
Yeah, we know that we need to work with our partners, no question about it.
There's probably a number of schools that also use Grossmont Hospital.
Mhm.
Are those clinical spaces guaranteed?
Yeah, I mean, that's the two places we've chosen to use to do this expansion with them, to really help them grow their own staff there. So CNAs to become RNs. I mean, it's that kind of thing that we're trying to do, because, well, the nursing shortage is going to hit. If it hasn't hit San Diego yet, it will eventually. So I think that's what we're thinking about right now, and trying to just really meet what their needs are. So they did assign it, the shop, they thought it was a good idea to grow their own. And the same with Aventis, that's what they were looking for. They have a high turnover of staff, is one of the things that they came to me about too, and that they wanted to see what would be good to keep people. I mentioned that RN to BSN for a reason. We felt like we're going to pay 5,000 of that. As they go through the program and get their ADN, if they stay on with Adventus and with us, we will pay $5,000 of that tuition towards RN to BSN is 15,000. So we would pay 5,000, and then the hospital is going to pay the other 5,000. So the student, or now the graduate, would only have to pay 5,000. So we're trying to look at this as like a comprehensive program. I think it's going to work, and if it does, I would happy to share it with the rest of the state. I think it's going to be a good thing, because we got to get nurses to stay at the same places if we can, because all this moving around is hurting hospitals. I was a CNO for 30 years, so I know what this feels like. So I thought this was a good idea. We tried this in Florida and it worked. So I thought it would work here in California too. That's really all we were looking at. So we do have the slots.
You do have the slots.
We do, yes. Yes, they both signed it. Yes, this is for their help too, not just us. It's for the hospital also.
Because I understand that 3 other community colleges also use Grossmont.
Right.
And I'm concerned about the community colleges and the ADN programs also being able to have clinical space.
Well, yeah, I agree. And Dr. Chow is our dean down there. She comes out of the community colleges. So she very well knows what it is. She knows all the people in those programs. So yes, she works closely. We're part of COADN. I mean, we really try to work very closely with our colleagues. I'm not looking to displace anybody. That is not our goal ever, to do that. So we have looked at that.
This is Lori, and I'm going to interject as the board executive officer. I know that Imelda mentioned that she is very familiar with the previous area that was requested, and I want to make that similar statement. I'm very aware of the San Diego area. I have taught as faculty within the San Diego area. I was a director of nursing in the San Diego area. And in fact, I was a clinical educator at Sharp Grossmont Hospital, the hospital that you are speaking to right now. I hired new grads into that program, and I taught new grads in that program, and I worked with many nursing programs in that area. Sharp is one of the largest healthcare facilities in San Diego and is sought after from many of the colleges and universities in that area. I can personally attest to it being used by Southwestern College, San Diego City College, Grossmont College, which is right next door to the Grossmont Hospital itself. It's also used by National University. Brandman University has a contract with them as well, and I can go on and on. Every year there is at the San Diego Consortium, which I've been invited to because of the pandemic, to participate in their consortium meetings, and they have meetings where they talk about clinical displacement and squatters' right and backdoor dealings, and that affects the San Diego area greatly. In the document that Dr. Wayne Boyer did prepare, he did mention that there is a surplus of nurses. He did that to validate some of the information that was presented. He also mentioned that there would be clinical displacement with an enrollment increase. I would also like to refer back to a few years ago where an approval of a program was denied because of clinical displacement and was only then accepted when a school closed in that area. And just so that you're fully aware of that, Glendale Career College was the college that came in and picked up the students from that closure. And so we do appreciate their assistance with this and saving those 180 students from that closure. They were granted approval for enrollment and had since then requested continue enrollments. So San Diego is a area that does have clinical displacement currently. We do hear that on the consortium meetings. That is broadcast greatly. I participated in those meetings, and they are having a huge difficulty in getting pediatric placements, a very big difficulty getting OB placements. In fact, Palomar College had to close 2 enrollments in the fall and the spring, I believe, of last year because they were not able to get clinical placements. And so their students were displaced. And so I asked the board take that into consideration that, yes, this college has helped the board. They did teach out those students that were in need when a school did abruptly close, but also take into consideration that San Diego is currently affected by clinical displacement, and that Grossmont Hospital that they are contracted with, I would even go so far as to say, is each one of the nursing programs in San Diego to provide clinical placements.
Thank you, Lori.
Mr. Kim Marble, I have a question, please. So on page 238 of the report, it states that Sharp Grossmont Hospitals in San Diego has also offered to support the increase of 15 students 3 times per year.
Yes.
That's correct, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So they're increasing how many more people that they will have. They're not like displacing
No, we are not displacing.
anyone. They're just increasing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this says. Okay.
Correct.
I want to verify, are you working with the consortium in San Diego?
Yes, we're part of the consortium. Absolutely.
Okay, and they are aware of this, correct?
Yeah, well, we presented this at the ELC also. And I'm trying to think where else I mean,
Yes.
they are aware of it, yes.
The consortium is aware of it.
The consortium is aware of it, Ken. The consortium has not provided information yet. If we want to move this to the next committee meeting or the next board meeting, I can get that information from the consortium to see whether or not it would cause clinical displacement. We can vote on, you guys can vote on it at that point if that's something that you wish me to request. There was public comment at the ELC, which they asked about the clinical displacement. And so there was concern brought forward by the public.
But I was at that meeting. That was just from the Los Angeles area from Dr. Shirley Thomas, who's at Compton. So that was not, we didn't have any questions from San Diego. This is the first I'm really hearing of this.
So I guess what I'm getting at is they're actually increasing their ability. They're not, whatever the number that they have been taking, they're willing to go 15 more students 3 times a year is what I think I understand to this.
That's correct.
So I just want to, okay. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is Dolores. I would like to make a motion that we delay decision on this until we have more information for the next board meeting, because this area is impacted. And thank you.
I second the motion. Jovita Dominguez.
Okay.
Is there any other board discussion before we open it to public comment? And moderator, can you open it to public comment, please?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, I thought I saw a lady named Michelle. Is that from a previous?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mitchell first would like to make a comment. 1 second, please. Sorry, snuck that in there. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, this is Mitchell First. I'm the president of Glendale Career College, and I'd like the board to consider, first of all, there's two requests before you now, one for our Glendale campus and the others for San Diego. So there's the 15 student increase for Glendale, which is a separate campus, and a 15 student increase for San Diego. It appears that by the questions here that you don't really have a concern at all regarding our Glendale campus, and so which is great. However, regarding San Diego, Sharp Grossmont has come to us, and they have signed this increase. So we're not displacing any other students at all, and they're going to accommodate this modest enrollment increase. So I'm not sure why there's concern amongst a couple of the board members in regards to this, because they're saying there is no displacement. They're accommodating us in this regard. In fact, we have been in discussions with Grossmont to integrate the Sharp many aspects of Sharp's operation into our curriculum so that we can produce Sharp-ready nurses. So when our students graduate, they're already orientated to the Sharp way, to the Sharp vernacular, and so that we believe, in working with their CNO and CEO, that they will have even better retention of their nurses using this modality. So they have said that they would like to support the increase. They have signed such, and we're not displacing any other students or schools. So I'm not sure why the board would be concerned or want to continue this agenda item. So we're asking truly for your your support of not only our Glendale campus increase, but also San Diego as well.
Thank you, Mitch. Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no other public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Is there any other, yes, and then maybe we can go to discussion for the board after. Thank you.
This is Imelda. I totally agree with Mitch. We've had these discussions over and over and over again. And I am very, very grateful, not that this matters, but I am very grateful for them taking the students that were displaced at one time. They really stepped up and helped the board and the students. So I would like to see it move forward.
Imelda, this is Dolores. For Glendale, we can vote separately, but for the San Diego campus, that's an increase of 90 students over a 2-year period, which is just a little under 100. It is very impacted down there. And this is something that I would like to request that we have more data on from the consortium. Because this will not be the first school, nor will it be the last to ask for an increase.
Question.
Ken, did you say something?
Yeah, let's call for the question.
Okay.
Okay, then does that, we can vote on it.
Quickly before the question, I do have a question just so that I just want to call to the report that our board staff, our NEC, discovered. They submitted in the AIS after doing research, after getting the information from the school. They have been asked through our pre-licensure nursing audit from the California State Auditors to provide accurate clinical data, displacement data, and workforce need to our board to make decisions. My NEC has done that and has included that in the AIS. And it states that there would be clinical displacement, and it states that there's not a workforce need. So I want to make sure that that is brought to the attention, that our NEC did due diligence. They did the data, they researched it, and presented it to the board for the board to make decision. Thank you.
I have a question for Reza. When a board member calls for the question and we start, can that be interrupted?
I mean, we don't formally follow any strict set of rules like Robert's Rules of Order or anything like that. We kind of take guidance from formal rules. So, I don't think we have any strict authority that says just one way or another. But I think if you call for the question, that's, making a pretty clear statement that you think it's time to vote. But with that said, I also think that if the comment that follows is kind of on point and within the scope of the discussion, it's worth getting that commentary out there. So unfortunately, in short, I don't really have a definitive answer.
No problem. I appreciate what she said with documentation. So, I read that and I know exactly what she's talking about, and I appreciate that. We're trying to move on. So I just wanted to know. So that's fine.
And Laurie, I do appreciate our NEC's doing all the legwork. They've done all the legwork, they present it, and we need to move forward. I don't know that we should be questioning them once they've done all their research and provided us with the documentation. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Imelda, and I understand your frustration, Ken. We're up against the pre-licensure audit from the CSA, and we're going to sunset next week. And part of that is how the board has responded to the audit. So I want to make sure that we are following the guidelines that were put forth by the California State Auditors, and that my NECs are doing their due diligence in doing that. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Could we restate? Could someone restate the motion, please? And so we can make sure we have it correct in record. Thank you.
So my motion was to delay the decision for the San Diego College until the next board meeting, until sufficient data has been presented to the board to make a vote.
And I just want to clarify, Dolores, that you wanted to go straight to the board and not back to ELC. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry, only for the San Diego campus. We're going to vote separately on the Los Angeles campus, or is it a one agenda item?
I think the Los Angeles campus will be okay. I'm concerned about the San Diego one.
Can we do that, Reza, since it's on the agenda, it's as one? Can we do that?
Yeah, that's fine. I think you can break it up if there's a good reason to.
So the motion would be the one that we'll vote on right now will be for the San Diego one. Is that what the motion is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we can take that to the vote now, or do we second the motion first and then take
We
it to
got
the?
a second from you, so I believe we can take it to a vote.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no
Since we
problem.
changed it a little. Okay, then we will take that to a vote. I Jovita say yes to that. Dolores Trujillo?
Dolores Trujillo says yes, and I don't.
Ken Marlborough?
Ken Marlborough votes no.
Susan Naranjo?
Susan Naranjo votes yes.
Betty Woods?
Woods, no.
Imelda Ceja?
Imelda, no.
Okay, I believe Mary's still out, correct?
Was that 3-3?
Yes, it was 3-3.
So what happens when it's a tie?
It doesn't carry.
It doesn't carry.
That's right, the motion fails. Yeah,
So
so
then-
if the motion fails, then there's no action taken. So either.
I would like to make a motion to accept both. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Ken Marlborough, okay.
Ken Marlborough seconds
Thank
it,
you.
sorry.
Does that mean we have to go now to
Yeah.
discussion? We go to public meeting, public comment.
Yes, briefly, please.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give you a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Mitchell first would like to make a comment. 1 second, please. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Hello again, Mitchell here, the president of the college. Just one more, sharing is that you guys, this takes a lot of work, and to come before you with even a modest enrollment increase. There is a lot of work that has taken place, a lot of conversations with these facilities, and again, we really appreciate it. Appears there's no question about the Glendale campus modest increase, but in San Diego, I just want to share again, we have been in discussions with the CNO and the CEO of Sharp Grossmont that have supported this modest increase so that we can make Sharp ready nurses. So again, today we ask for your support for both campuses, and we ask for your support truly for this modest increase for both campuses. Thank you.
Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no more public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Please.
So before we go to the vote, we have sunset next week, and we're duty bound to follow the audit recommendations that were done for this particular campus. And the audit literally says that the board has failed and does not use data to make enrollment decisions. And we're going to have to try to defend that next week. So at what point do we use the data information to make informed decisions? Because right now we have an informed decision on, the data was compiled that this would be an impact. And we're voting this down.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought the data that we do have supports this. The NEC.
No, the NEC found data contrary to what the school submitted. The NEC data says that displacement will occur. And that there's no need, there's not a real need for an increase in nurses in the area yet, but yes, we're going to need nurses. But we have this school has a program in place. It's not like we're trying to justify a brand new program. We're just trying to maybe cap the enrollment until we have opportunity to look at that data. But the footwork was already done by the NEC.
Hi, this is Betty. Can you give the page number where that information is on?
Lori?
Yes, I can. It's
Okay,
at the bottom of page, okay, so it's in the AIS. Okay, so if you look at the AIS for this program, for the enrollment increase, so that's 8.7.3, that's where the AIS is, where Dr. Wayne Boyer has, and then in your materials, it's on page 232 and 233. And what we're required to do now per the audit is the NECs, anytime there's anything that's related to enrollment, that means new programs, any kind of enrollment increase, anything, we're required to do our own separate research and present to the board in links in our AIS that state what we have found in our research of, board approved data, meaning regional data we use, ECSF stuff that is has been asked for by and used by the BRN. So just so you know, those things will always be in there. They've been in there since October of 2020, and they will continue to be in there. The other thing is we've made a list of things that we know that you're asking for, that you guys want to know, and we're making sure that's in the AIS. So like for instance, for example, we know Imelda wants to know how much the program costs. So we will have in our AIS written in there that what the cost of the program is. We know you want NCLEX results. We know you want, there's things that we know you want. But this is an addition. It's been there since October with links that link you right to any of the data that the NECs have found and to support or not support. And there's usually a blurb in there too, where Dr. Boyer actually put in there a little blurb too about it. And sometimes people add a page number. I see that one of his things has a page number to it as well.
Hi, this is Dr. Brady. The report handed in, what Dr. Boyer wrote was the request and summary have compiled with the EDP 23 guidelines. Clinical sites have been procured without the displacement of other nursing programs in the area, is what he wrote. Just wanted to share. I should share that.
I'm sorry, Gloria, what paragraph is that? Because I'm just
No, I'm
referring to the
reading
bottom
mine.
where he has the links.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find it on your web. This is what I handed into him that he rewrote, and so I'm trying to find it on the thing. But it was his last conclusion that he has underneath what I handed in on December, back in December.
Okay.
That we
Well,
did.
this is a separate document that all the agenda item summary is a separate document that we're required to fill out and support, or not just turn in with any materials. So your materials are there as well.
Right,
But
right.
we have to do an agenda item summary.
Okay, I'm
which means
sorry.
that we take all the information that you guys that the school sent to us and
Right.
we evaluate that.
Yeah, I tried to.
Again, just because of the audit, we now have to do our own research
I see.
separately and add that into the agenda item summary in order to meet that requirement that we're going to present data to you guys that that shows that does our own research. Is not just coming from the school. That was the request of the audit, was to give accurate data to the board in writing when there's anything to do with enrollment, new programs, which would be feasibilities, self-studies, in any kind of enrollment increase, another campus, those kind of things.
I got it. Okay, so, but he's, okay, sorry, I just,
That's okay. I'm happy to clarify. I know this, it's been, for us, it's been a while since it's been happening since October. But I know that we haven't always drawn attention to it, but because of the audit and because of the sunset and our requirement to meet this, we have to bring it to your attention that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing,
yes.
which is giving you the board the best information possible.
Okay, and then just one last thing, if I could say, Los Angeles, the Adventist Health here, they are really looking forward to this. We just did Nurses Week with them. We had so many people signing up. They were really interested. So I wish you would vote at least on one of them today. That's all. Thank you, Bill, for considering it. I appreciate it.
And again, I don't mean to play devil's advocate, but there is information about Los Angeles in
Yeah, I can't get to it.
Dr. Boyer's report as well.
Okay.
Not directly to you,
No, right.
but to the board, that there's also Los Angeles data. Because Los Angeles is an impacted area as well.
Right. Thank you.
So,
This
So
is
I-
the Los Angeles region to face a large surplus of RNs. And the southern border, well balanced with supply meeting demand.
Mhm.
And that's on the page that you told me to look at. Page 233.
Right, at the bottom of 232 and the top of 233.
Mhm.
And again, just so you know, this will be in all the AISs and has been since October. So a very important part for us, at least, to meet the sunset requirements that, you know, the audit said that we are not presenting accurate data to you as a board or to a committee, as a committee. And this is how we need to do that.
Well, this is 218, so I'm not sure what it is now.
You know, I think if we look at the agenda, Western Governors University is actually a teach out, which is in, you know, the LA area. And it's because they have no clinical sites. These two areas are impacted right now.
So are we ready to vote or do we still have more discussion?
Call for the vote.
Okay,
So the motion again,
Okay, let's-
Imelda,
Was to accept.
and seconded by Ken. So the motion is to accept the approval of the major curriculum revision with an enrollment increase, seconded by Ken. Now I believe you can take a vote, Javita, unless Reza would like us to go to public comment again.
are we okay to vote, Reza?
This is Reza. I'm sorry, I've gotten a little mixed up in this discussion. Have we already gone to public comment on this?
No,
Yeah. Well, we did on the
Yeah.
first motion.
We did.
Now we're on the second motion.
Okay, yeah, I think it's, I mean, we're still talking about the same thing. So I think we can just go ahead and vote.
Go to vote. Okay, thank you.
I, Jovita Dominguez, vote no. Dolores Trujillo,
Dolores Trujillo votes no.
Ken Marlborough,
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Susan Naranjo,
Susan Naranjo votes yes.
Betty Woods,
Woods votes yes.
Imelda Ceja,
Imelda votes yes.
Okay, next on the agenda.
So we're running up. It's 4:30 right now. Reza, we have the one section that we needed to talk about before 5 o'clock in closed session.
Yeah, so the issue with that is we've got another attorney who's going to be joining us in closed session. She's available today. She's available tomorrow as well, but not before noon. So that was my concern, is that either we hear from her today or your meeting will have to go until at least afternoon tomorrow, which is fine. She's available at that point, but
I would like for her to come on. She's waited all day long for us, and if we can close session and continue tomorrow, that would be my recommendation.
So maybe we can finish up 8.7.4 and then we can go on into closed session, leaving everything from NCLEX updates on down for tomorrow.
That works for me, unless Lori has any concerns or any issues with that.
No, is there going to be?
I do not. I was advocating for 8.7.4 for Western governors because I'm sure they've been on the line and waiting all day today as well. So thank you for considering 8.7.4, and the rest can be moved to tomorrow.
Is there going to be a phone number that we call in for the closed session?
You should have gotten an email with a link to a Microsoft Teams meeting.
Yeah,
Just FYI, I can't get into my emails right now. They can send it to my personal one, the I Say Have Clicks. Thank you.
They could send it to me also because I somehow misplaced it. Sorry.
This is Ken.
Staff can.
This is Ken Warrell. I agree with everything that's been said, but just for the record, I will not be available tomorrow at all. But you should still have a quorum to meet tomorrow without me there.
We want to continue with the next 8.7.4, and hopefully meanwhile, board staff can send out that link to board members for the closed session.
Thank you. Agenda item 8.7.4, Western Governors University Baccalaureate Degree Nursing Program. This is a discussion and possible action regarding a recommendation to accept changes to an approved program. This program is the change is a closure of the program with a teach out plan. I'm reporting on this program for Wayne Boyer, and joining me on the line is Dr. Rebecca Dahl, who is the director. Due to lack of acceptable options and resources, such as clinical placements to progress students in California, WGU has elected to close admissions to the California BSN program and institute a comprehensive teach-out plan. The university commits to fully supporting the 94 remaining California WGU BSN students and will offer all courses needed by students with on-time progression and with graduation date on or before the documented date of closure of January 31st, 2023. Students with a graduation date after January 31st, 2023 will be offered a transfer to another WGU pre-licensure state to complete the program. Dr. Dahl is available for questions, and this concludes my report.
Hi, this is Becky Dolan. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I just want to make one clarification. The actual, there was another more current document, but the only difference was that we changed the teach out end date to June 1st, 2023, because we wanted to make sure that we get all the students through the NCLEX process. And when we relooked at the date of January, we felt that we needed a safety net so that we could make sure that there wouldn't be any complications with any students.
Thank you for that clarification. Are there any questions from the board? Vita, would you like to go to public comment?
Yes, we can, since none of the board members have any discussion, we can, yes, go to public and motion to accept.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature, and members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Committee Chair Dominguez, there are no public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please, and we'll take it to a vote. I, Jovita Dominguez, votes yes.
Could I clarify the motion and the second, please? So the motion, I believe, is to accept the teach out, the program, closure of the program and the teach out plan for Western Governors University Baccalaureate Degree Nursing Program. This was motion by Javita.
I'll second that.
Who is that? Imelda?
Imelda.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then we can now vote. I, Jovita Dominguez, votes yes.
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Ken Marlborough,
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Susan Naranjo,
Susan Naranjo votes yes.
Betty Woods,
Woods, yes.
Imelda Se.
Imelda, yes.
Thank you.
The remainder of the agenda will be the first item on the agenda tomorrow.
So now we get onto the other website then?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mary.
All right, I appreciate it. Then I'll work on getting on that one.
I don't see any number here. in that.
So just for clarification, this is Reza for our board members and for the public on what's going to be happening. So we're going to be entering closed session right now. Board members, you should have received an email with a link to a meeting. It's not going to have actually there may be a phone number in there, but it's intended as a web conference type link. If you have any trouble accessing that, you can contact board staff or me and we'll work on that. But for the public, we're going to be entering closed session. We're not going to be entering back into open session today and conducting any more open session business. That's the end of business for today in open session. After the closed session today, we will recess and be back in open session tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Reza.
All right, see everybody in the Teams meeting.
Will do.
I don't still have the number. Ken Marlborough, can you text me the phone number so I can call in? Somebody? I need the phone number. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try.